Back. We continue live right here, Pittsburgh CW. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. The Pirates in action, game 2 of their Grapefruit League schedule, and I realize it's only February 24th, and it is game 2, and it is wind blowing out in Bradenton. But still, pretty good results by the Pirates in terms of offense. They're looking for power. Jung-Ho Kang in his first 2 at-bats hit home runs. Yes, the wind was blowing out, but so what? You take it when you can get it. And then, you know, Brian Hayes steps up as his replacement, hits 2 home runs, including the walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning. So, at least from today's point of view, those who went there saw a pretty entertaining game with a lot of home runs. The Pirates would love to have that power supply, but again, it's February 24th. We'll see. Let's go out to Dave in Baldwin. Dave, you're kicking us off tonight on the Sports Call. How are you?
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Hey, you know, the trouble with the Penguins is they made 3 mistakes, and that was getting rid of Fleury. And number 2.
Wait, stop there. Let me ask you something, Dave. Why do you think that was a mistake? Because at the time, I don't think anyone in the NHL would have done anything else differently. I really don't. I mean, this is a 22-year-old goaltender who had already won 2 cups. Why would you have been willing to sacrifice him and instead of Fleury? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Well, no, but they could have kept Fleury and Murray, but I mean...
no, they couldn't have, because they could have, but it would have destroyed their cap situation. You know, that had a big impact on them.
Well, okay. And number 2 is they should get rid of Kessel. He's not doing nothing.
Well, that might be more for an off-season situation. I don't know if that's happening anytime soon, like tomorrow. But they need him to wake up. There's no question about it. He's here to score goals. He hasn't done much of that lately. He's been reluctant to shoot the puck lately. He needs more. And if he doesn't score, then he becomes somewhat of a problem for you. And, you know, he had a great regular season, I thought, last year. I was looking forward to bigger things in the postseason. And I understand 3 straight years of hockey was a lot, but I expected more this year, and I still do. He's paired with Malkin. Those 2 guys have been up and down pretty much all season long, and that's what I'm talking about. The answers are there in their locker room, and that's the only way it has to be at this point. Those players are good players, and when they're playing the kind of hockey they're capable of, they're better than Carolina. They're better than Columbus. They're better than Washington, in my view. So, therefore, they just have to play with 20 games left their best hockey. And if they do that, they should be fine. And if they don't, they won't. It can't be this erratic and this inconsistent. Let's go to Bill and Denora. What's up, Bill? How are you?
Hey, Bob. I like your show.
Thank you.
About last night's game, I think there was 3 goals given up by Murray. The one to his glove side, the one the tying goal, and the one between his legs. I'm going to hang up and listen to what you say, and I think he lost sight of all the goals all night. So I'm going to hang up.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked. You know, you can tell that it was a different dynamic. Both goaltenders had to deal with that, but you know, the Voracek goal more than any of them. That was a key, and here's why it was key, because, you know, the Penguins were down 2 defensemen for 40 minutes. Those 4 remaining guys had to play a ton of minutes, and that would have been an inspiring win for them to get, given those circumstances. So at that point, he needed to make those saves. He had to seal that win, and he just didn't do it. And I know nobody feels worse than him. He's a really good kid. He is, and he takes responsibility for it all, and he felt terrible last night. We'll see what he can do to bounce back. But, again, the only thing you want from your goaltender is consistency. And I think moving forward, if there are injuries that continue, then you're going to need him to be more than just consistent. You're going to need him to be dominant, much like he was after his injury when he came back and was the best in the NHL for an 11-game span. Let's go to Mike in Bethel Park. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Yeah, hey, Bob. I agree with you. Any knee-jerk reaction here on quick-term, short-term trades, probably detrimental long-term. They got to ride this out with who they got. Mm-hmm. And if they happen to get an 8th seed and they're one and done with Tampa, that's unfortunate, but that's kind of where it may be headed. And I hate to see them blow this team up farther and make it even worse. Thanks, Bob.
All right, thank you. Yeah, you don't want Tampa in the first round, but then again, Tampa may not want the Penguins in the first round, too. You know, Tampa's had their share of postseason failure, and they haven't been able to get back to a Stanley Cup. So that would be a matchup I don't think they would prefer. But at this point, if you're the second wild card, and the Penguins are not right now, it's Carolina by virtue of 1 more win for Carolina. But that all can change. The Penguins have games left with Carolina, a lot of games left with Columbus and Washington. So, you know, therein lies what you're going to be looking at down the road. Although they have some tougher games left, too, with Nashville. I believe St. Louis is on their schedule. So it's not going to be an easy road down the road, especially if they're shorthanded a lot with injury. Marilyn in Mount Hall joins us right here on the Sports Call. Hey, Marilyn.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I was wondering how bad the injuries to Dumoulin and
Letang.
Letang.
Yeah, at this point we don't know. They know, and they'll tell us tomorrow probably. The Penguins are back at practice, so we'll find out. But at this point, other than it's a concussion and other than it's an upper body, it looked to me like Letang, in an effort to come there and stick up for his teammate. This, by the way, this is the kind of stuff the Penguins don't want to be doing right now. They did it in San Jose game the other night, although they were not anywhere near the better team that night. I thought they were the better team last night. But you don't want to get into this game and getting pounded around and playing physical. And, you know, Letang came in, nice to see, but he's not the guy you want in there. And he got taken now by Gostisbehere, and it looked like something in his shoulder area that got compromised maybe. Again, that's just speculation. We haven't heard, and we will hear tomorrow. Scotty in Johnstown, you're on the Sports Call. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, Bob, how you doing tonight?
What's up, man?
Hey, wanted to talk free agent, that Panarin from Columbus. With all the moves they made, they're going to move him. They're looking a first-round pick, man. Everybody in the East better hope Tampa don't get him, because I'll tell you, Tampa's loaded for bear now, and if they get Panarin, man, he's a game changer. They can afford to give the first-round pick up. I don't know anybody else in the East is willing to do that first-round pick for somebody who might be a 20-game player. What do you think on that?
Well, I like Panarin a lot. I don't know if Tampa has a lot of big-time salaries on their hands and more to come, and he wants a lot of money. So you'd have to look at I don't know what their salary cap situation is, but they do have assets to give. But I don't think Columbus, if they're trying to win a Stanley Cup by virtue of the trades they made, are going to be interested in giving Tampa, already the best team in the league, another part to make it almost impossible to get by them. So, you know, that likely is a trade that could be made into a Western Conference team, and you'll take your chances if you get to the finals then. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. More trades are on the way. As I said, Brandon Montour on his way from Anaheim to the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres are bullish. Jason Bottrill, their GM, the former Penguin assistant here to Jim Rutherford, is happy with his team, but they got some work to do as well. We got to take a break here. We have Ron, Gene, Scott, and Jeremy all coming up next right here live on Pittsburgh's CW.